Hi, and welcome to the Big Bear Homestead. And this week, in our Sustainable Living series, we're going to talk about quail. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about quail. Now, to be honest with you, 100% honest with you, we absolutely love quail here on the Big Bear Homestead. There are so many things to love about quail. We love the fact that they're relatively easy to care for. We love the fact that it is a short amount of time from egg to plate. We love the fact that the quail gives us multiple ways to bring in income. Plus, to be honest, quail was our gateway animal. So, with that being said, how do you take care of quail? Okay, here's the exciting thing. Taking care of quail, simple. Matter of fact, taking care of quail is a lot easier than saying that phrase, taking care of quail. And you'll see that at the end of this video. Quail really only need three things. Four. Let's just say four. Food, water, a way to get out of the elements, and protection from predators. It's the same four things every other livestock that you have on your homestead need. So it's not like it's something special. The really cool thing about quail is you can have them up in hutches raised up off the ground. You can have them in cages swinging from your chicken coop. You can have them in runs and stuff going out in your yard. Now, we've been keeping quail since the beginning. And we've learned over time, at least for us in our area, okay? It's easier for us to keep a quail in a hutch raised up off the ground. We give about 1 square foot per quail. Now, our sides of our hutches are 1/4 inch galvanized hardware cloth, same with the top. Our bottom is 1/2 inch galvanized hardware cloth. The 1/4 inch on the sides and the top is to help keep the predators out. Not snakes that are large enough to eat a quail can't fit through the 1/4 inch. The 1/4 inch is too frustrating for a possum or a coon to try to reach in and grab the quail. So that gives them the extra protection. The reason for the 1/2 inch on the bottom is because we started out having the 1/4 inch on the bottom. But then we started noticing our quail were looking like a bunch of little Zsa Zsa Gabors running around with big honking poop rings on their toes. And so we figured out that, hey, their fecal matter is not able to fall through the 1/4 inch, and they were getting it on their toes, and it was drying on their toes, hence the poop ring. So we switched to 1/2 inch, and we've never had that issue. Now, yes, you stand a little bit of a chance of some of the snakes being able to push through the 1/2 inch, and if a raccoon wanted to do some Mission Impossible stuff and try to use the 1/2 inch like a jungle gym and kind of swoop and reach up in there, I guess he could, but he'd end up probably popping it before he was able to get a hold of a quail. But hence the reason why we raise it up kind of high. We raise our hutches up at least 4.5 to 5 feet up to even where if I'm going out there to take care of them, to be able to reach into the back, I got to get up on a step stool or up on a step ladder. That's how we do it. Again, the quail can adapt to just about any way that you want to take care of them, as long as they got plenty of food, plenty of water, and plenty of protection from the elements and from predators. Now, their waterers are something else that you can experiment with and play with. You can put the regular rabbit water bottle up there. You can run an empty trough, like a chunk of gutter, and just let the water flow through there. We like to catch rainwater, run it down, and then use the chicken cups that we use in our coops. That's a great way to do it. But you can also catch the rainwater and run it in a chunk of gutter. We've done both, and both of them, to be honest with you, whether it's the gutter or the chicken cups are neater because they can only peck at it then, versus the trough, they will get in there and walk around and stuff on hot days, and sometimes they do poo in there. So, but those two are the best that we've seen so far. I've seen some guys bring it down in and use the rabbit waterers where they got to hit the ball with it. Those work also. I just don't really like some of those. They just seem to leak on me. And then the food, you can do just like you do with your chickens. You can bring a PVC tube down with the open on the bottom, so it's a continuous feeder. You can run the little mason jar with the feeders that way. We've done both. Both of them worked really well. Most of the time, just because we're so busy around here, we take the little inch and a half, 3/4 inch tube, fill it full of feed, stick it out there for them, and put a flag on it that raises up and down with the level. That way it's just a walk by, and we're only filling that up once a week versus going out there and trying to feed every day. It's a time saver for us. So now that we know how to take care of quail, let's start to talk about all the different types of quail. All right, now I'm not going to bore you with listing out all 70 of the different domesticated breeding pairs that are in existence. But I'm going to tell you the most popular breeds with homesteaders are, of course, your Coturnix, your Bob White, your Gambles, your Mountains, and your California Valleys. Now, what makes these guys more popular with homesteaders? Well, for one, most of these breeds are fully mature in 8 weeks, meaning from egg to plate takes about 8 weeks. 2, they are prolific breeders and egg layers, meaning you're going to be able to keep your line going relatively easy. They are hardy in a variety of different climates, meaning they can survive fine in cold climates and in extremely hot climates. Now, the adult usually weighs anywhere from 4 to 16 ounces, and that depends on the breed. Okay? So now that we know why they're popular with homesteaders, how do these quail earn their keep? Alright, there are many different ways that the quail can earn their keep. For example, we all know you'll get meat, okay? We know you'll get the eggs and the feathers, but let's add some more. Let's talk about the eggs first, okay? One, you can eat the eggs, okay, in multiple different ways. You can crack like 9,000 of them and have a great small plate of scrambled egg. But you can pickle these bad boys, and you can sell. Not only will you can consume them, but you could also sell them. Pubs love them. Wives don't love them that much, because what it does, well, never mind, family friendly. You can sell your quail as long as the breed is correct. Now, see, you got to be specific with the breed here, like your Bob Whites, your Gambles, and your Mountains, and your California Valleys. You might be able to get away with it with those guys. The Bob Whites definitely, but your Coturnix, at least not here in Georgia. But you can sell these birds to hunting clubs, and they will buy you out. All you have to build is what they call a flight pen, so that way they can see them fly. Once they see them fly, hunting clubs will buy you out. Trust me. You can also sell the meat, sell the eggs, sell the birds. So you got a variety of income that you can bring in from the quail. I mean, many of you that's been following our channel for a while have heard this story, but how we got started in homesteading was after our garden, we got quail. And it started as a homeschool science project where my son and I built an incubator out of an old freezer that we found on the side of the road, an upright freezer. Well, we took a dozen quail eggs, hatched them in a matter of weeks. We went from a dozen quail to 200 quail. I mean, it was fast, to the point where we were able to start selling the quail, selling the meat, selling the eggs, and now the quail was sustainable all by themselves. Because at that point in time, we weren't educated enough to know that there were other options out there other than store-bought feed for your quail. So the quail that we were selling was paying for not for their feed, but also was helping supplement the electrical bill from the incubator and the brooder boxes and all of that. So they were pretty much paying for themselves, plus we were eating quail for free. So quail is a very good starter animal for those beginning in homesteading for your livestock adventures, because from, like I said, from egg to plate is only 8 weeks. They're prolific in laying and fertilizing their eggs. I've never had a large batch of eggs that came by that weren't unfertilized. So they do very good in an incubator. Now, most of your breeds, let me put a asterisk mark right here. Most of your breeds will not go broody, so you will need some type of an incubator for the quail. That's probably their one downfall, is that some of these breeds won't go broody. Like the Coturnix will not go broody. You've got to incubate those eggs. All right, well that does it for this week in Sustainable Living. Next week, we're going to be back in the garden. I hope you guys found this video informative and helpful. Thanks for coming by the Big Bear Homestead, and like always, have a nice day. Alright, there's many. This is what happens when you're trying to rush. Okay, taking Kellogg's, because they're great. Alright, so here's the thing. Taking care of quail, not taking quail.
Taking care of kale.
Taking care of quail.
It's really simple.
What you got to do, Bubba, is you guys just got to make sure that they got some food and water.
You heard that he's training Chris Brown, right?
Yeah.